Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Ambassador Greer, for joining us today and taking time out of your schedule to meet with us. Ambassador, I just welcome you again to the Ways and Means Committee, which has the sole jurisdiction for trade issues in the House. It's great to have you here working with administration that prioritizes free and fair trade, unlike the previous administration, which placed pretty much zero emphasis on trade enforcement and on new deals with foreign nations, in effect putting America last. I represent Kansas 4th District, the capital of the world, which is a microcosm of the United States. We have large aerospace manufacturing core in Wichita, as well as other manufacturing operations, and a widespread agriculture base in the surrounding rural counties. This cross-section of the country every day works to feed, clothe, and provide energy for the entire world. Additionally, skilled workers manufacture airplanes and aerospace components, build computer instruments that power our devices, and it's an understatement to say that our district benefits from free and fair trade, because when Kansas compete on an even term, we win. The aviation industry has benefited from historical zero-for-zero tariff with foreign nations since the 1980s. Nearly every single airplane around the globe contains at least one component made in Kansas. In contrast, our agriculture sector faces stiff barriers with foreign nations. As illustrated in your testimony, ethanol product produced in Kansas faces a steep 18% tariff in Brazil, while the same Brazilian product is only charged a tariff of 2.5%. This type of unfair, excessive tariff on U.S. exports is undefensible. Because of this, I support the administration's efforts to reduce the tariff barrier placed on U.S. products by foreign competitors, and I'm pleased to see the number of countries, 70 plus or so, that have mentioned that they want to make a deal. I'd also like to discuss some non-tariff barriers that functionally disadvantage the U.S. in comparison to our trading partners. I've been a vocal opponent of digital services taxes, DSTs. These extraterritorial taxes enacted by many countries, including France, Canada, and UK, are highly targeted on U.S. businesses and innovators. Many of my colleagues agree that DSTs are a revenue grab by countries that restrict technology, innovation, and envy American companies that are successful in this space. Additionally, in the recently released 2025 National Trade Estimate Report on foreign trade barriers, I was pleased to see the USTR include Germany's extraterritorial assertion of retroactive taxes known as the Section 49. This law has been dormant for the past 100 years, but disproportionately targets U.S. businesses. These examples aren't from our adversaries, they're from our friends. And these are just a few examples of why it's so important to level the playing field and open markets for American manufacturers and producers, the very effort that you're trying to put in right now. Regarding Germany's Section 49, I believe reaching a resolution on this issue is important. In consulting with Treasury and IRS, it's my understanding that they've engaged with some affected taxpayers and German officials on this issue, but it's yet to be resolved. What's your strategy in terms of working on this issue with Germany, and will you work with me and my staff and the committee as we pursue a resolution for this issue?
First of all, I always like talking to you, Congressman, because as you know, I lived in Wichita for 2.5 years and served at the Air Base when I was in the Air Force and had a child born there, so we have a nice connection there. I will work with Secretary Bessent on this issue with Section 49. I've had some good interactions with my German counterpart in the past couple of weeks, and we're happy to work with you on this to see what the best way forward is.
Yep. Well, thank you. And I know some of that crosses over, as you mentioned, with Treasury Secretary and the issues there. And there's so many things moving on in your direct sphere of influence with all activities trying to make sure that there's free and fair trade for American companies and American competitors. And I just applaud your efforts in helping make putting America first in these efforts. And thank you. And I yield back.
Thank you.